Okay, so here we have a chick that is a little overdue to hatch. I saw that the chick was in the air cell but not making any progress after 24 hours. Typically parrotlets start to pip and hatch out within 48 hours of starting the process. So I kind of helped him along by, yesterday I slightly opened up the egg around his beak, and just to let him start breathing oxygen. And by breathing oxygen, he starts to pull all the vessels and his yolk sac into his abdomen. And you want this to be a very gradual process because you don't want to hit any vessels and cause the chick to hemorrhage and bleed out and die. So we do this very gradually. So this chick now has been opened and exposed to the air. I've been chipping away a little bit. He actually only had about maybe that much open when I started. I've been gently peeling it away so that I can see if there's any vessels present. I'm also using sterile water so that I can wet the membranes. And by wetting the membranes over the chick, I can see if there's any vessels, and it also helps me to peel any dry membranes away from the chick as well. So gradual and slow is the way to go with this so you don't accidentally hit any vessels, cause the chick to bleed out. So what I'm going to do now is, now that I've got the whole air cell side open, I'm going to go down towards the chick's beak, straight down this direction because that's where the belly is located. And I'm just gently going to press the chick away. I'm not hurting him. He wants out really bad. It's really hard to see in this little egg. I'm used to working on bigger eggs too, so.
You can see his mouth moving.
Yeah. Okay. You can see there's a little bit of vessel right there, but to me that looks like it's kind of dried, sticky looking, so it doesn't look to me to be an active vessel. So I'm going to proceed. Ideally, you don't want to see any red if you can help it, but it happens sometimes. Okay, so these eggshells are very papery thin, so it's hard to go gradual sometimes. When I'm chipping away at a crane egg or something bigger, it's a lot easier to just take tiny little pieces and then proceed and see where you're going. With these guys, it's kind of like, okay, I think everything looks good. He's been breathing oxygen for quite a while now, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up this part of the egg over his eyeball, because I'd like to lift his head up a little bit so that I can see down his abdomen and see if his yolk sac looks like it's completely absorbed. Do not want to pull the chick out until his yolk is completely inside his abdomen cavity.
How would you know it's inside?
Because you don't see any of the yellow yolk sticking out. You just see pink. You can tell that it's inside the skin. I don't know how to say it more technical than that. See, everything I'm seeing that's red is all coagulated, old, dried up, sticky.
Yeah.
That's not ill.
It's like Pop-Tart strawberry cream.
Not really. By the way, that's my 14-year-old son. Our comic relief. So what I'm going to do is gently lift his little head up. Oh, look at that little cute baby. And I'm looking down inside right now, the egg, and it's going to be really hard to try to angle that for you to see. Jacob, can you get a picture?
It's fine.
Can you see inside there?
Oh, well, can't
You see his little foot sticking up? There is absolutely no yolk sticking out at this point. He is ready to come out of there. So, you can be a little bit more aggressive at this point. I hate to use the word aggressive with an egg. You really don't need to be aggressive. Can you pull it back a little bit, honey, so I can get in there? He's a little wet, so could be I've got the humidity up a little too high in there. We've had a lot of rain the last few days. Oh, sorry, baby. I did drop him. Try to be gentle with this whole process here. If you really want to be sterile about this, you can wear gloves. I did disinfect my hands before I started working on this baby, and I never had a baby get any sort of infection by doing it this way. So what I'm going to do now, gently pull baby out. You never want to yank him out just in case he does have a little bit of his umbilicus like that. It's still sticking.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you look, there's a little bit of red there still, so he does have a little bit of vessel there. Probably could have stood to wait a little bit longer. What I do with this is I take a string and tie it off. Okay, tie it up, turn that off for a minute. Oh, crap. You okay, baby? Don't bleed, don't bleed, don't bleed. Okay, he's good. I probably could have waited on him maybe like another hour or so, but he's very clean at this point. I have some Nulvasan solution, or you can also use a little bit of iodine, and you can take a swab and add a little bit of iodine to that little umbilicus that's sticking out there. That way, you know, there isn't any infection that is introduced inside the yolk, which you can see under the skin right there. Any sort of infection in the yolk at this stage would be, you know, not a good outcome for the chick. So it's best to try to keep this area clean and dry for a little bit, and it should dry up fairly quickly. So this chick looks really good. Again, sometimes it's kind of a gamble on when to pull the chick out. I don't want the chick to stress too much inside the egg. It's overdue and needed to come out of there. But you know, you have to decide at what point you want to go ahead and try to break the chick out. So I probably could have waited a couple more hours just to make sure all of that was completely in. The yolk's completely in, still just a little bit wet in this area here. You know, I'd like to see that maybe pulled in a little bit more, but all in all, I think the chick looks really, really good. And I'm going to go ahead and set him up now inside his little cup for him to dry off.
And that guy's not dead.